This ain't no joke, this ain't no game. This that CSG game. They said pull up, so I came. You better put some respect on their name. Yeah, 55 was goody. Kill the vibe, how could he? Big Cardinal on the hoodie. Let me break it down for you fully. This ain't your average broadcast. This ain't just no podcast. We on the show, spread fake news. We just call it podcast. West Joey, Sam, Sean, Dalton. And you know that boy hit you. He said he was on small fry. Tell him they better make him big. Yeah, you already know what we be on.
You bet. Jordan, here he goes. This place is gone.
If we set it and set it in stone, sit in the seat, set up your phone. You in the Cardinal sports zone.
Straight steal home. The slide. The Cards win.
The magic is working tonight. How do you know when things are...
The emotional journey to the championship.
What is up? Coming to you live from the Four Peg Studios. This is the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wallman, here with my co-host for the evening. First up, we'll go in studio. He is the, you know what? Let's go to Sam first. He is the football beat writer and the women's basketball beat writer. He's the one and only your Glamour Shots cover guy of the year, Sam Baisden. Sam, what's good, man?
What up? What up?
That's not a bad thing. I mean, some people look nice when they dress up, and then other people are Sean. Which we're gonna have a fun game. We want you all to join along today. We're calling it "Turn a song lyric into a Sean lyric." This can be any lyric from any song. We've also decided that it could also be a title of a song. Like Sean is instead of one is the loneliest number, Sean is the loneliest number. Anything like that. Last but not least, he is en route to the top secret Shoot 360 studios. The Four Pegs. Whatever sponsor wants to give us more money this week, Studios, it's the one and only. He's the mailman, or he's the delivery man, Joe Woman.
Acknowledge me.
Y'all don't have to do that. He's not in studio.
Yes, Sean, there you go.
I don't know.
Let's go.
With the OPC sitting right here, the original podcast chief, you're going to acknowledge another man?
Let's
That's messed up.
go.
That's messed up. Don't forget the Mossy Oak chat line is open. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or however, send us your questions on the media of social. Check on the graphic below to see how you can follow the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast on social media and how you can help, throw a couple dollars our way monetarily. We got YouTube subscriptions. We got the chat gifts, GIFTS, and other ways to do it. You can, again, it's not at the bottom because we got the questions of the night. Let's take the questions of the day, Sean, off the screen for a second and go back to what. So you could also, there's the PayPal, the Venmo, the Cash App. If you wanted to zealous, you could get in touch with me and I could give you a number to do that. And not trying to sound like we're begging for money here or anything. That's just we have a lot of people that contact us. Our guy Mike almost donates every week, and it's always right after the show, and we never get to acknowledge him. So Mike, we acknowledge you for Mr. Singleton for helping out and doing stuff. Hit that thumbs up while you're here on YouTube. Make sure you are watching on YouTube if you can. It will help us out more. And shout out to our fine, I almost said spout out. Shout out to our fine sponsors, Fitness Market, Fourpex, Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak, Planet Fitness, Rally House. And we want to welcome our summer. Hold on, let's get the big reveal ready. Our summer sponsor, it's Zach Beckman with Fine Blades Mowing Service. And I know what y'all are thinking, as y'all can see his logo on the top right-hand corner. Didn't you already have a mowing guy?
Mm-hmm.
So, started out with Gary the Redbird. He phenomenal job. Can't say enough good things about his work in my yard. He stopped mowing out this way. So then I switched to my guy Rob Black out of Derby. No, I'm not giving him a free plug. Rob Black. And then he stopped mowing out, found out that commercial was better and paid more. Understand it. He stopped. And now my guy Bill Jones with the Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, he stopped mowing out this way. So who better to answer the call of, and he's not a 4-string. I know it sounds like he's my 4-string lawn guy, but he's the head baseball coach at Doss High School. This is a guy I've known for a long time. He's helped me out. He actually mowed my yard a couple of times when I was in the hospital, and it did some work a couple of times way back for my dad when he couldn't get his lawn guy to show up. So great dude. His logo will be in that top right-hand corner. Need to get it edited a little bit because it's covering up Shoot 360. I don't want Peyton to have a hissy fit over that. But guys, we're going to have a fun show today. As I alluded to already, our questions of the day: turn a song lyric into a Sean lyric. Make it Sean centric. We want to know what your best athletic performance was. We hear about all these great feats at Lamar Jackson, all these great feats at Teddy Bridgewater, DeJuan Wheat, Michael Brown. We'll talk about that in a few. But what is Sean Barber's greatest athletic? What is Sam Baisden? What is Jeremy and Joe? I already know what Joey's is. I won't spoil it for you all. I think
I have no clue.
You don't have a clue?
Of what my greatest one? Athletic accomplishment? I mean, there's a bunch of those.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll save that. And then your spring football takeaways. Send us those in the chat, and we'll get back to them here in a few. Let's get to the chat line. Again, James Garland, what's up, gang? Cardination. Anthony Easton says, what's up, 55 in the crew. D-Wall Beat saying, yo. Brian McGlasson pointing the finger to the air, acknowledging Joey.
That's right.
And Garrett Hoover saying, what's up, fellas? Look.
It was his birthday. It's his birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to the meat man. Pause. Garrett, okay. We're going to give you live updates on the game all day, too. After scoring a bajillion runs yesterday, Louisville trails 2-1 at the end of 3. Yesterday, we already had 17 runs, I think, by the end of 3, but it is what it is. All right, so, again, our summer shows, they're going to come to you all every 2 weeks. This week's that starts on the 27th of this month, because we're doing the show now. We're probably going to do a couple of pop-up shows in Vegas this week. Let's see, who is that? Who do we got joining in? Oh, it's Wes Keys.
Sorry to be late, man. I had a long day yesterday, so I was sleeping incredibly hard.
Or whatever I don't know. Want to know what you were doing incredibly hard, but we appreciate you.
He was reaching.
Cause I get off of work early in the morning, so I had my daughter's dance class. I was off 2.5 hours of sleep, spending time with the kids. We went to Sky Zone and stuff yesterday.
Listen, Higgy's able to be a girl dad times 2 and still call into the show. So I think you're doing a little bit better than him with him not being here. Let's get the show again. Every 2 weeks, it's going to start that way. Everybody can do their family stuff one week and come in here and hang out with the other family for an hour or two. We can still inform you. We'll have a lot of good information. We're going to have some fun segments too. I got some ideas later on. We want your all's ideas as well. So let's get into the serious part of the show. The dust has seemed to settle. We got the roster that we all signs point to Case and Pryor returning. That's not been made official yet. Probably something we see within the next few days, but the assumption is Case and Pryor returning. Sam, I'm going to go to you first on this one. With the roster looking like it is now, which is very guard heavy, and what do we still need is my question, because I feel like we've got we've got good bigs, we've got good passing bigs. Are we just missing like a 3-4 hybrid? What in your opinion, what do we still need to complete this team?
Selfishly, I still think sorry, I was distracted just
that's Wes's background.
Okay. I didn't hear it at first, but now I do.
Yeah.
But, is it?
Oh, your microphone's picking up everything. It's okay.
So, hold on.
All right.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, Sam.
So, especially, I still think about the need for maybe more of a stretch 3, stretch 4. Let me not say stretch 3, a stretch 4 player. I'm still thinking about the kid from Robert Morris that I mentioned last week. Sure. But the caveat to that is we might not need him if Kenai Ruth takes that leap, because they always say that the biggest leap is from your freshman to your sophomore year. And if he can take that leap to be even maybe close to a 34-35% three-point shooter, we already know he has the athleticism to go from a pump fake or a triple threat, 1-2 dribble and attack the rim. We already know he can do that. So if he adds a 3-ball to his game, it'll take his game to the next level. So if he does develop that, and we don't know what the young man is doing right now in the gym, he might be working on that. It might be something that he was working on last year, but he didn't really get to showcase it. So if he does that, then I don't believe there's another player that can take us over the top that won't need the ball as much, because everybody else who's still left in the transfer portal, they kind of need the ball. So if we have someone else, I don't think there's anyone else in the portal that can be that 4th or 5th option, or someone that can get you 8 to 10 points that doesn't need the ball or doesn't need a play call for him. Like Kenai Ruth did. He didn't need the ball. He didn't need plays called for him. He went and got it through running the floor, through transition, defense, and things like that. So outside of the young man for Robert Morris, like I said, I don't think there's anything else that we can add from the transfer portal without hurting what we already have.
Sean, what about you?
I actually agree. I just don't think there's anything else we need at this point if Casey comes back, which all signs point to. But you know how, we just saw Tennessee's quarterback just up and leave. So
disintegrate.
Yeah. So when you look at it that way, that's the only thing. Once that's official, I think we're good to go. Because you got a lot of interchangeable parts in the front court. You got Frew, Scott, Khalifa, and I'm missing somebody here. I know I am.
Frew?
No, I said Frew.
Did you?
I can't think of who else. There's somebody I'm missing, but small forward. You got Hadley, and you got Ruths, and of course Ruths at his size, you could maybe play him at the 4 here and there. because he's like 6'8", 6'9", so I could see him playing some 4 here and there in certain lineups. So,
Kaysen.
but yeah, Kaysen.
That's it. Yeah. Kaysen. Joey, what about you? What about you? Obviously, all of our options in the transfer portal have pretty much committed. I don't know, Sam. I'm not sure if your Robert Morris guy's committed anywhere else yet, and I'm not sure if the College of Charleston big man, the Antonio has committed anywhere. I do know that we were looking at those guys, but with the stuff that's transpired that we've talked about behind the scenes, it seems like with us taking Kaysen, that means the transfer portal is over. Now we'll talk about in a few minutes some high school action and overseas stuff that we're hearing. But what is there? Is the answer simply just that there's nothing left to add to the team, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to. We've got the parts we need. We don't want to upset the apple cart, bringing anybody. Because again, that's what I've been saying. Like with Nate Ament, is that he's going to want the ball, and there's not going to be enough plays called. There's not going to be enough touches for him. Kaysen's going to get a lot in transition. Kanai's going to get a lot in broken plays, things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think we're set. We're good to go, and it's what is it, Indianapolis next year?
Yep.
That's going to be
all right.
a nice trip.
You're cutting in and out. You're cutting in and out on us. It's probably because you're driving and stuff. All right, we got some comments. James talking about excuses. What were we talking about? I don't know what the excuses were. But James is the one that he always says. Brian says, I think I was driving behind you Friday morning. Won't give away the area, but no one else has 55 on the back of their vehicle. You can give away the area. I drive all over town for my job, so you can give it away. It is what it is. Eric Goat says, did you all... That's one for Sean. Did you all see where Michael was talking about recruiting Nate? Yes, I did see that. Eric Gold said, if it's one or the other, I also prefer Kaysen. And that's what the consensus belief is that it was one or the other. So it is what it is. D Wall prefers Pryor over Ament at this point. Allie Jackson's JUCO point guard depth and future piece. Oh, dude, being late. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, for me, I just feel like, and let's go ahead and segue into the next part. We may add a piece or two. I am hearing that there's a couple overseas guys that Coach Ronnie and them are looking at that will strengthen up our front court. There's the mysterious, like, somebody needs to write a book about the mysterious commitment, the curious commitment of Corey Calker. That's 4 C's for you right there. It's very baffling, very confusing. He announced he committed to us 3 months ago. We have not acknowledged him. So where it was very easy for us to be like, oh no, that's not a thing. It's becoming more apparent that it may be a thing. So we'll just see. Listen, I trust. I almost did a Freudian slip. I trust what PK, not the other way around, is doing. He's not giving me any reason to not believe in him. I still want Mason to do a GIF of with I believe in Pat Kelsey instead of in the Joe Hendry tune. But yeah, it's looking like this team's going to maybe even be better than last year, which is hard to believe. But man, Michael putting on a show, and we'll get to him here in the next segment. And then with Conwell, Woolley, and McNeely, I'm not saying that McNeely is a better version of Rain Smith, but he's a bigger version of Rain Smith. And even if he's a little less consistently 3-point wise, he's a better defender than Rain. Love you, Rain. Because of his height. And again, shout out to Rain Smith coaching the U of L managers to the national championship last week. We talked about it. We'll give him, since I kind of poo-pooed on him a little bit, we'll give him an extra shout out there. But yeah, Is Conwell, is he a better better Chucky Hepburn? We don't know. Is Woolley an upgrade from Terrence Edwards? I don't know. Are they equal? I don't know. But this team's got a ton of potential, and I can't really just cannot wait to see what's going on. Let's see. Babu said they couldn't play a Mint last night because the world team was so physical. Get fire back and let's play ball. Brian McGlasson says if Roots takes the Donovan Mitchell type of jump, we wouldn't need a Mint. That's a very good point. Pryor says he's a much stronger defensive player than a Mint. My only thing is, here's why I'm worried with Kaysen. Love Kaysen. Love his attitude. Love his personality. Love what he brings to the game. And I guess Joey's about to pull in and join you. But I've torn my ACL, and I know I've torn both ACL, and I know what it's like to come back from an ACL injury. And I'm a guy that healed pre-40, healed really quickly. Post-40, it's been a different story. I'm in a different book. Pre-40, I could break a bone, and they'd be like, "All right, you're out 6 to 8 weeks, and I'll be back in 2 weeks." Just the way it was. It was a very good blessing of mine. My injuries never kept me out of doing anything. Is Woolley on the NBA radar? I don't know that, Anthony. I do not know. We'll see. Sean will look through and see if you can find him on the projected draft bar. But it's can he be the same? And would we have been better this year with him? We don't know that. We just don't know. The games he was with us, we lost a couple games with him. However, we hadn't really gelled all the way yet either. So it's hard to play what ifs and things of that nature. Let me see what the I'm not. Yeah, nobody. Shout out to Amori. JB said we can respond on X. Twitter is gone, sir. No, it's not. I'm never calling it X. Sean has banned the letter X from his vocabulary in his life. He does nothing with the word X in it, ever. But I just don't know. You never can. Like Ali Jack just said, you never can tell how he will come back from the injury. I think we have enough depth as of today where Pryor can take his time to get. Yeah, great point. I don't disagree with that. I just know how difficult it is to come back from those injuries and how it messes with you both mentally and physically. Case in point, not case in prior, but case in point. The very first day back after my left one healed, I was overcompensating in practice and tore the right one. You just never know. Those things mess with your head. So it is what it is. We'll see. I'm about to never X. Boom. About to see. So still gonna add it again. I still feel like we add a piece or two. Stokes Mania broke out this past week where somebody said that he wasn't playing AAU ball, and immediately 452 Louisville Twitter insiders predicted him to Louisville. Here's all I know about the Stokes thing. I know that we have a separate NIL war chest just for him. So the 8 to 10 million number that you've been hearing thrown around, that doesn't include Stokes' money. Stokes got his own money. It's sitting over here in the cut, waiting for him. Which means if he doesn't commit here, we got extra money for next year. It is what it is. It's a win-win. So just with the basketball, Wes, since you've not got to talk yet, what are your thoughts about the basketball team that we got? Good vibes? How do you feel?
Honestly, I feel great. I love every piece that we have, and I forgot who said it. If Roots takes that Donovan Mitchell jump, that would be great. But just seeing significant improvement with him, regardless. I like Fru's ability with his post moves, his ability to shoot the three. He's not a big shooter, but he can knock it down occasionally. Ali's facilitating ability and the fact that he lost so much weight, he's gonna be more athletic within his game overall, and his post moves, just his overall game is going to help the team. He can run the offense through itself. So.
Wes, I was for you. I think I figured something out.
What?
Do you have a Twitter burner? Do you have a second account? So
No.
you're telling me right now, hand to God, that you're not 247 recruiting? That's got to be Dalton. It's Dalton.
No.
It's Dalton. It's got to be Dalton. It's got to be
It's
Dalton.
Dalton.
Shout out to Dalton.
It's
Love that
Dalton.
dude. Let's go back to the chat line for a second and get some answers. What's up, fellas? Tony Bowman in the building. Appreciate Tony. Allie Jack says, I'm okay with the developmental big man via international JUCO portal or high school. I think that's what we end up doing. Let's get into segment 2. I know a lot of people don't call out their segments, but I feel like it's important that you all know when we're switching field and heading to the other end zone. This week at CSZ, some things that, I observed and some topics I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about Mikael Brown and his performance last night at the what do they call it exactly? Was it the
I
World
believe
Game?
it's I want to say it's the Nike Hoop Summit.
Nike Hoop Summit.
But
For Team
Yeah,
USA,
yeah,
right?
Nike
He
Hoop
was
Summit.
definitely on Team USA. Seen a couple of tough plays that he finishes that he made last night. I do know that according to my source, Sean Barber, said he hit a ton of free throws, like he was a Chucky Hepburn-esque free throw shooter. Mikael Brown just may be the real deal, y'all. Okay. All right. As Sean puts his red tube information on the screen here, I'll pull it up for you all to see as well. There we go. Can you turn your screen sideways, Sean, so it makes it bigger? Pause.
I don't think it'll work because it's a tweet.
Okay. So you don't have landscape or portrait at the top of your phone?
No.
Sean doesn't know how to work his fingers. It's crazy. Well, y'all can't see that, so I'm gonna pull that off. I thought he was about to show us a video or something like Debbie Does Dallas, but he did not. Mikael Brown, man, he looks like he's the real deal. He looks like he may be. Same. I just wanted to get some going on. Who's the last guy? Sam, I'll start with you on this one. Who's the last guy that we had coming in? Not only Trenton Flowers excluded, because Trenton Flowers was portrayed to us as and shout out to Trenton, my guy, his family, loved them. Spent some time with them last summer. Playing in the Clippers organization, doing a good job. Proud of him. But other than him, because that was a situation where he just never showed up. He was kind of like a Sebastian Telfair type dude. He got a little further than Telfair did. But who's the last guy that you can remember being this excited for that had this much talent? Like, it's been, I know for me, I got my answer, but who for you was the last guy that was like, this guy's being highly touted. He comes in, he plays up to his ability, and when he leaves, it's like, man, that dude was the real deal.
Okay, wait, hold on. So you're asking who from high school
Yes.
I was impressed with, and then they came in here and did a good job?
Yeah, they had a ton of hype behind them, and they came in here and they lived up to the hype.
The last person for me would be Donovan Mitchell. Had you had said who had a ton of hype coming into Louisville, just as a incoming freshman, I would have said Samuel Williamson. But since you throw in the caveat that they did well at Louisville, I'm gonna go with Donovan Mitchell.
Well, Samuel Williamson, he was still a 1,000-point scorer here, wasn't he?
No.
No?
He left after his sophomore year.
I thought maybe he didn't. I thought he scored 1,000 points there. Maybe he didn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just remembering the fact that he was touted to be the next thing since sliced bread, and then he was a 6-star. Some people would say, and no offense to him. Sean, what about you? If you still mind, I'm going to punch you in your testicles.
I think I know which one you're going to pick, and that's why I'm going to go away from that one.
No. I want to see if on some sick level our minds have synced up.
I was thinking Peyton Siva.
Okay, no, I would.
He came as
I would never give Peyton that much attention.
He came as a highly rated 4-star prospect. McDonald's.
Sean always throws the stars in. He was a highly touted 3.5-star athlete.
He became a national champion. So
Peyton was a 5-star in some of the. So let's not just, as much as I don't want to see his head get bigger. He was a 5-star and 2 of them.
We just need one recruiting service. I'm tired of all the different ones. Give me one overall recruiting service.
Nah.
One is the loneliest number. Sean is the loneliest human being. Wes, what about you?
Terry Rozier.
Now, Terry Rozier was a guy who we didn't think would show up because who was in his
He had
Anton
a
Gill.
lot.
Him and Anton Gill played
Prep, I think.
played prep Hargrave together.
Hargrave.
And the rumor we were getting Rozier, then we weren't. Then we were getting him, then we weren't. And he did. I remember they came and played, I think, at Iroquois High School. And both put up like 40 points each.
I think Terry actually got like 50 or something.
He may have.
Like something ridiculous.
They both worked out. So that's a good one, man. I'm gonna go Earl Clark because he was a burger boy. He was when he finally did show up to campus, which was a running joke because he was here the whole time. I'm not really sure why that joke was funny or why it was even a joke, but from day one, watching him in practice, he was the real deal. He just operated differently. The way he operated off the court. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give you all, pull back the curtains, if you will, and tell you all what kind of things Earl did in his off time. But even with the things he did enjoy in his off time, very professional, very, very kind. I think I'm probably a little biased because I knew Earl when he came in. And as you all know, I'm very, very close to that the 05 through 09 teams because I had had a little brother that played on that team, Mr. Brarence Farley, and man, I was finishing my degree up at the time when T started up there, and I could be sitting. They would sit with their room doors open because the way their dorms were set up, they have a common area like we're sitting in now, and then there'd be a door over here which was Derek Character's door. And then there was a door over here, which was Terry's door, and they had a full room in there. Or after Derek Character got kicked out of the dorm, it was Perrin. And then when Perrin got kicked out, it was a couple of people. Shout out to Perrin. No, it was just DC and Perrin. But anyway, I could be sitting in that common room playing on the PlayStation, and Earl would stick his head in and be like, "Hey man, you want to get some shots up? You want to go work out?" And I did want to get some shots up. I did want to work out. So very, very cool dude. Waiting to hopefully going to have him on the show this summer. I'm going to tell you all a couple of the people that we're planning on having on the show this summer here in just a little bit. Don't want to give them all away, but y'all are going to have some fun. But Earl is definitely mine because he lived up to the hype while he was here. Had Derek Character, another kid that I love. I know kids just get in their own way sometime, and he got in his own way. And if it hadn't been for him getting in his own way, we probably beat Tyler Hansborough in Charlotte and go to the Final Four, and he just couldn't get out of his own way. So it is what it is. Hold on, let's see what this is. Ding ding. Okay. All right. Next thing. Last week, ended the show. Had a great show last week, guys. Don't you think we had a good show last week? Yeah. So I go to Myers to shop for a couple things for my house. And as I'm walking in, I see this guy walking out in all Louisville gear, got the cheesiest smile on his face I've ever seen in my entire life. He's like, and I'm like, oh God, what's about to happen? I get about 2 feet away from him. He's like, man, I watch y'all's show all the time. I love it. Actually, I'll wait until after y'all show today to come up here and shop. I was like, man, I appreciate that. He's like, Sam's awesome. Joey's awesome. Wes is awesome. He's like, Sean's a good dude. Bless his heart. I said, Sean got to bless his heart. So shout out Michael from Myers, the Myers parking lot. I knew you would think automatically think Mike Meyer. But Michael from Myers, man, shout out. Thanks for the support. I've ran into a lot of people in the job I'm currently doing where they've said they watch, and that it's pretty cool. They're like, man, we watch the show. We love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. And I guess that brings me a little bit to my next piece of news. I have officially decided over the last couple of weeks that there will be a season 7 of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. So we are re-signing for one more year, at least. You know, as some of us get older, Sean, you know, it gets harder for them to be able to commit all their time to stuff. So we're gonna have another season. That's pretty awesome. Sean, did you have anything interesting happen to you? Because I had a couple things interesting happen to me, other than the recognizing. Did you have anything happen
I,
this week?
there was. I was at an undisclosed Circle K.
Okay,
I was
so the one
pumping
right there in
gas.
Fairdale.
I was pumping gas, and there was, I think there was criminal activity going on behind the dumpster. I saw this lady yelling at this person, and she
Oh,
threw something at him. So yeah, there was something going on. I don't know what it
oh.
was. Of course, I wasn't getting involved in it because I didn't want to get knifed, and I didn't want to call the cops for something that they need to be called for. It might have just been a dispute between two friends. I don't know. So
Sam, if you twist these on the side, it'll keep it where it's supposed to be. I see it keep going up and down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you play with it long enough, it gets loose. Listen, Wes, what about you? What about you? I know. Sean, what do you got to say? Calm down, Sean. Wes, what about you? Anything interesting happened this week that you can think of? You don't have to have one. I like to know what my friends have been up to during the week.
You saw the post the other day. Besides just getting over with my
Congratulations.
probation at
Congratulations,
work,
by
and
the way. Wes is off of probation
he's no longer a probie.
at his work. At his
whoa,
work.
whoa.
No, he's now the prober. He's no longer the probee.
Pause twice.
Double pause. It's the Staples Center.
But yeah, that's about it, honestly. Besides yesterday, spending time with the kids. I started joining my daughter's dance class yesterday. She has a Father's Day recital in June that I'm going to be a part of.
Okay.
Wait, time out. You said spending time with the kids? I thought you had one.
No, I have my brother lives with me, and I have
Okay.
nieces.
Okay, I got you.
So there are 5 of them in the other room
Wes
right
has
now.
Yeah, that's what I said, kid.
He's got kid.
Yeah, no plural.
Sean's got an
No
empty
plural.
sock for now. For now, I said, listen, Sam, what about before I get to mine? Because I think mine is not mine's more important than y'all's, but mine's really funny. And I want to be able to hear your all's first before I start laughing. So, did you have anything?
Nah, other than me got lost on Friday, taking the kids home.
You got lost.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How do you get?
So they give us a route sheet, and
You're fired.
like they give us a left and right route sheets or whatever. And I'm listening to the kids talk, and they're talking about sports and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. And in engaging back with them, I kind of lost sight of where I was and didn't make the turn that I was supposed to. Oh man, let me tell you something. So yeah, I was lost for a little bit, and luckily I was able to figure out where I was at, and one of the kids helped me. But Brownsboro Road and Limekiln Lane, it's all confusing over there. So and some you would think in that part of town they would have better street signs or a street sign.
That's funny that you expect that.
So got lost on Friday.
Bebu says when Crum signed to throw back to a prior question, LeBradford Smith and Jerome Harmon in the same class. There was huge hope with both. Anthony Easton says, "Do you guys think in certain games next year we see one big out there with Brown, Woolley, Conwell, and McNeely together? Possibly. I think Allie would be the perfect, or Frew would be the perfect one for that situation. All right, let's. So, with my new job has come new things that I notice. Obviously, I've got a very good sense of awareness. I'm quick-witted. I pay attention to detail, but there's some things I never noticed before that I'm starting to notice. I don't know if you all know what the restaurant 7 Brew is, but it's kind of like a cheaper, better version of Starbucks. So if you've got girls in your life, Sean, you can set this one out. If you have nieces, no, because you got a niece. If you got nieces or daughters, or you know what it is. I know what I've been there a billion times because my girls thought that they were going to be high maintenance little females, and I'm making sure that they are stay ground to earth and that they are at best dollar store maintenance female. So
not Walmart.
No. Well, see what they have to realize, and this is something I didn't realize growing up. If you want more later, you take less now.
Yeah.
Even with, and I learned that at a young age. Like I would see and we didn't get to go out. Like there was. Let me make this perfectly clear. There was not weeks where my mom and dad would be like, "Let's go to the store and you pick out one toy." Every once in a while, every 3 or 4 months, they'd be like, "All right, here's $10 by you." And silly me, the first couple times I go by the $10 He-Man when there was like I could have bought 10 $1 GI Joe knockoffs, which at that time were GI Jose's, and I could have been playing for a long time. But nevertheless, Seven Brew is a coffee spot and a drink spot. They've got everything there. The one by my house made me think that all of them, when you've only been to one, you think, well, they're all like this. They're all like 18 to 21 years old and healthy, nice, in good condition, if you will. I'm trying not to sound creepy, like the creepy old, shout out to Steve Rummage, trying not to sound like the creepy old man, but, just like pleasant, very, very friendly. Oh, hey, how's your day? Well, even when you're sitting there in the line with the look on your face, like, don't talk to me. I don't want to be talked to. That happens to me when I take Jayla to work in the mornings. We'll go there, and it's like these girls want to talk to me. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk. So the other day, I made the mistake. I had some time. I wasn't getting any delivery opportunities. Shout out to Amazon Flex and Shipt and all those companies that keep your boy employed. So I was like, you know what? It's cold outside. I'll ride over to the Seven Brew here by the Jefferson Mall. My world was rocked, Sean. I pulled into that Seven Brew. First off, do you remember the movie The Longest Yard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I pulled into an all-female version of that over by the Jefferson Mall. These chicks were tatted up. One of them was bench pressing 350 in line while she was taking orders. A couple of them had voices that were deeper than Sean's. What you want to drink? I'll take a hot chocolate with some whipped cream on it. All right, go to the next window. Okay, I went to the next window, and I expected them to just like talk my ear off, and I don't see anybody. And I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Then 5 seconds later, I look the other way, and then when I look back, the hot chocolate's like in my face. Here you go, have a good day. I'm like, at the same time, I hated it and loved it. I'm like, this is awesome. They don't want to talk to me. They're all built like China. It's amazing. So that was kind of one of the funny things that happened to me this week. And secondly, I don't know if you all knew this or not. And Sean, I think I told you this Friday night. I had one of my deliveries the other day. It was on Friday. I went to the Texas Roadhouse World Headquarters. Has anybody ever been there before? Sam hasn't. Sean hasn't. Wes hasn't.
I've seen it.
I've seen it from the front.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen it from the backside, Sam?
No.
And I know the backside. That's where Sam. That's where he does his work. That's where he works. So it wasn't very specific. It was just like 9600 Dutchman's Lane or whatever the address was. So I go to the very first door. It's kind of tinted windows, but you can still see in if you got up real close. Try to open the door, it don't open. So I look in, and I'm like, oh, this is very Texas Roadhouse themed. Look over to the left, there's neon signs. But then I look over to the right, and y'all know when you walk into Texas Roadhouse, they've got that glass case with the cuts of meat in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's right there on the right side of the door. And I'm like, man, they're really trying to provide like a realistic experience. So then I go to the next door. And if there's a bar and a whole bunch of tables you can sit down at. And I'm like, wait a minute. Still couldn't get in that door. I tried. So I go to the third door, which is around the corner a little bit. And there's the Texas Roadhouse marquee and all neon. And it was like, welcome to the Texas Roadhouse lunchroom. So they've got a fully functional Texas Roadhouse in the bottom of the world headquarters of Texas Roadhouse.
Isn't that? I bet they get discounts too.
I mean, their lunch is probably awesome every freaking day. Let's see, Quentin.
Oh. Yeah, like for real, you just walk in there like, what do I want for lunch? I'm gonna have a sirloin every day.
I'll just take the filet every day.
I do have another funny.
Okay, yeah, share it.
It's not really that funny, but went to the spring game Friday. night.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the spring game in a few.
Okay.
So let's just save it. Let's put a pin in that.
All right.
Quentin says it sucked to lose to NC State Friday, but Louisville bounced back and smoked them yesterday, which it was on TV. It's on ESPN Plus, which I know is not TV. Allie says Frew has a 7'2" wingspan. Anthony says today's game is on the ACC network, so we'll turn that on. Garrett says you can say it, leggings for days. That is exactly what Seven Brews is. It's a bunch of leggings. But the Preston Highway 7 Brews, the Outer Loop 7 Brews is like leg days for days. It's completely different. But yeah, look, we're gonna take a break really quick. We want to shout out our sponsors: Fitness Market, Four Pegs, Collision Course Crew Tailgaters, Cherry Pick and Shoot 360, Mossy Oak Planet Fitness Rally House, and our new summer sponsor, Fine Blades. Give Zach a phone call. Let me, I went to this pitch before I pulled it up on my phone, so you'll have to excuse me for that. Well, actually, you don't, but I don't care, so excuse me anyway. Zach, where are you? Okay. So, for all your lawn care needs, you can give him a call at 502-445-0395. That's Zach. He's one of my maybe I won't turn it on. We're down 6-1. No, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Speaking like
Call Zach. Sean, we'll have to explain a lot to you. That's a segment we're going to do later on in the year called Explain This for Sean. And that's going to be a lot of explaining. But we want to shout out our sponsors because without them, there truly is no us. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to kick off the second half of the show. I know y'all are like 2:43. It's the second half. Sometimes y'all know us by now. We get a little bit long-winded. We get excited and we provide quality entertainment. So that's what we do. But what we want to do here to kick off the second half, because the second half of the show always goes quicker because it's less detail oriented and more here's some points and stuff. But let's go to the hottest segment that's sweeping the nation. It's Did Sean Get Any Action?
No.
All right. Well, that should have been, we should have already known that. Jeremy Wallman here with, and it's not on the ACC network. I don't see.
By the way, I did want to mention somebody asked about Woolley, and draft status. He is not on any mock drafts. I checked a couple of them. I didn't see him on any 2025 mock drafts.
Gotcha. Jeremy Wallman here with Sean Barber, Sam Baisden, Wes Keys, still waiting on Joey to hop in the studio.
You better hurry.
He said he'd be here. So let's go to really quick while I'm sitting here. No. Sean, would you like to go to Stephanie's Places on ESPN
Double
Plus?
entendre theater.
okay.
It's a great. If you've not watched Stephanie's Places on ESPN Plus, watch it. Amazing so far. 3 great episodes. And the game's on ACC Network Extra. So it's good God. It's the bottom of the 5th. NC State is up 6-1. Did we score all of our runs yesterday? Who knows? But we're back with this half of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. We want you all to. Okay, so here's our question. We're gonna roll this at the bottom for you all to answer the questions of the day. So we got 3 questions of the day. We want to know what your best athletic performance of your actual lifetime is. We want to know what your spring football takeaways are. And we got a new segment we're going to try out, and we can do it all summer long. Turn a song lyric into a Sean lyric. And this is where we want you all to turn individual lyrics or titles to song, tailor them to Sean. We've got a couple on social media. We want you all to send them in here as well. Spring football, Sam, you went to the spring football game. Can you kind of give us a break? For those of us that didn't go, can you give us kind of a breakdown on what we saw there?
So you can either come away, you could take it one or two ways. You could be You could be really impressed with the,
Sounds like there's two ways I'm not getting it.
Oh God.
you could be really impressed with the defense.
I thank you.
You could be really impressed with the defense, or you could feel like there's a lot more work to do with the offense in terms of continuity, um, picking up assignments, and often you could just say concentration because there were some pretty glaring mistakes that were made and that you wouldn't think would be made by certain players. But so that you could either take it those two ways. I tend to focus more on the defense, and I absolutely loved what I saw from the defense, and I'll say especially um, the kid from Louisville, Antonio Harris. I think that's his name from Trinity. He played cornerback.
Didn't Antonio Harris play at Mel?
Yeah, it might be male. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know why I was thinking Trinity,
because I think we do have a Trinity player on our team.
but I was really, really impressed with his ability to cover one on one in different areas.
That must be Joey.
He also had his own cheering section. Anytime he made a play, made a tackle, made a pass breakup, or locked down a defender to where Miller Morris or whoever the QB might have been had to look off that receiver, his cheering section very knowledgeable. They were cheering very, very loudly. So I look forward to seeing that and hearing more of them uh, during the season and for years to come because I really do think that kid is going to be really, really special as long as he continues to work and put in the time. He's going to be a good one at Louisville. So you look at it that way. I was impressed with Lacey. Uh, I was impressed with Miller Morse as well. For it wasn't like he was lost out there, and I said that to say the young man's been playing at a high level for what 3 or 4 years now, so he shouldn't have been. But it's a new offense, new players, and things like that. So it didn't look like he was confused. Coach Brom did yell at him a few times, but that's to be expected because Coach Brom is a quarterback guy and is an offensive guy. At least I think so. So yeah, those are my just basic takeaways
Gotcha.
because we did have a lot of players that didn't suit up. So a lot of the younger players and players that we didn't see last year got a lot of reps in the spring game.
All right, Joey's there. You're just gonna have to twist the bottom part of the camera, not the. Sorry, the top part. Towards you, right there. You're good.
But
Great awareness too on this. On the not to cut you off, but ball hit to the gap there between second and third, and instead of throwing it to first to throw the guy out, the guy had very good baseball IQ and threw the guy out running to third. Go ahead and finish, Sam. My bad.
Lead runner.
Getting ready to go find my seat. I saw a former classmate at U of L, African American guy, dapped him up real good.
Right.
Real smooth. And about what?
Why couldn't he have just been a guy?
No, hold on.
Okay.
So African American guy dapped him up. Everything ran smooth, whatever.
Okay.
About 4 or 5 steps later, Steve Rummage.
Oh God.
He was there. So it was a Jey Uso Michael Cole moment.
Oh yes. Yeah. Okay.
So I went in for the fist bump. He went in, and so we kind of like, and then we finally just figured out. So
like Sean is with females.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all you had to say. I didn't.
So I laughed about it after it happened. I don't know if he did or not, but it was kind of funny for me because, yeah.
That's shocking to me because Steve has a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of coolness.
And he went for the open hand dapped up, but I went for
the fist bump.
Yeah, so we kind of miscommunicated at first, so that's why I was like, it's kind of like Jey Uso and Michael Cole.
Absolutely. Red State says we should call him No Action. That's
Y'all haven't done this.
no.
Okay.
We've been. Joy.
I got a good one.
Red State says it looked like the defense was living in the backfield during the spring game. Joey joining us. Thank you for joining us. With 9 minutes left.
Marcus.
I think you pulled a normal Sam. Sorry. All right, so let's do that. So spring football, we're done. We're done with that. Wes, did you go to the spring game? You didn't. Okay. Okay.
Nope, had to
So
work.
let's go to the next part, which next question of the day was best personal athletic performance. Sean, you were telling us a story that's pretty much just
Unbelievable.
it was me and Sam didn't believe it until you kind of explained the ending of it. So why don't you tell everybody what's your best? At first he said the Governor's Cup, and I said, Sean, that's not athletic. That's academic. Tell everybody your story about your almost scoring. The only time in your life you almost scored.
Yeah. So I was playing Little League at Beachmont. I'm up to
Stop.
bat.
Wait. Sam, didn't he make it sound like he was in high school or something or
not
older?
high school.
Yeah, I thought
He's
It'd be like you bringing back your T-ball city championship.
I didn't play
state
high school.
championship.
Whatever.
I didn't play high school sports.
We were the city champions and we were the state runner-ups. But anyway, he said I hit it and you know what? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell the rest.
Kenny
So-
Rogers song.
so
Throw a bat in the ball in the air, hit it with a bat. I'm the best hitter alive.
So I'm facing a guy who throws about 78 miles an hour, which in Little League is like 90 something.
78 mile per hour in T-ball?
Not T-ball. This was I was
That'd
about
be
10, 11 years old.
Oh, okay.
Like Babe
Yeah.
Ruth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he throws 78 miles an hour. He threw it outside. I hit it, and opposite field hits the top of the fence, goes over. I'm thinking home run. I'm trotting around the bases. They go, nope, ground rule double. I'm like, are you kidding me?
How's that a ground rule double? Does anybody know of any time in any level of baseball where a bounced ball off the top of the fence is a ground rule double?
If it goes over the fence.
Yeah, because it hit the top of the fence and went over.
It went over out of bounds?
No, it went over the
hit
fence
top and went
into the
over.
stands.
Oh, that's a home run.
They didn't count as a
If
home
it
run.
didn't touch the ground, it's a home run.
Yeah, they didn't count it.
It's where the ball lands.
Yeah, they counted it as a ground rule
Well, they're
double.
losers. They're
Yeah.
probably Kentucky fans.
They cost
Probably.
Sean his only score of his life.
Yeah.
All right, Wes, what about you? Your best personal athletic performance.
Even though it wasn't on the books anywhere, just like playing in a pickup game at Shelby Park probably 7-8 years ago, hitting 7 threes in a game playing
Okay.
with my friends.
I was looking for something more official, like on the books, but that
I didn't play
you didn't play
official
rec
sports.
league or intramural or nothing like that. Okay, I'll accept it then.
No.
Sam, what about you?
My most memorable moment for me would be, I think I was in grade 11.
Sam, they can't hear you because you keep talking to the side of the microphone instead of direct. Pretend like it's a female.
Or
And Sam's
or,
like,
or
I don't know what you're talking about, Joey. But we had a tournament in Atlanta. I'm trying to remember the name of the tournament.
I've never
But-
been to Atlanta.
What? You know what I meant.
We know.
I've never
But-
been to Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah. But if the name comes to
Sam looks like he still uses yo baby yo lines.
Hey yo.
But anyway, it was the semi finals. It's escaping me right now, the name. I had a triple double. I almost had a quadruple double, but it was eight turnovers. But I had 37 points, 11 steals, and 10 rebounds.
Wait, you turned the ball over 8 times?
Well,
Why didn't you just give it to him 2 more times? I would have.
well. So and
There's another
like,
run
here
for
you go.
NC State.
my coach pulled me in the fourth quarter too.
Turned
it
the ball
was-
over too much.
Yeah.
Had triple double, but was losing because Sam gave him 24 points off 8 turnovers.
But, no,
God
we won
dang.
that game. We won that game. I struggled in the championship game, but I don't. Out of those 8 turnovers, I think 4 or 5 was because I did the hop step, pro step, and the officials didn't like. I guess they had their own version of how you're supposed to land on 2 feet or whatever. But I had 4 or 5 turnovers just because I did that. Once I get to the
Travels.
yeah, they call it. I was like,
So after the second one, you didn't think,
but
maybe I won't do that no more.
well, no, because I'd been so successful doing it the whole time, and that's how when I got to the paint, that was my because I'm not that big of a 1 foot jumper, so I did have to get my balance on 2 feet to go up and explode, like to finish through contact.
It doesn't sound like you were successful all the time. It sounds like you were
1
successful
foot, 2 foot, I can explode off either one.
80% of the time. But no, I
But
get
yeah.
what you're saying.
One or
But
the
yeah,
other or
but-
both.
But that was the highlight of my career. I did struggle in the next game after that though. I think I maybe scored 10 points. I don't know. My brother did all the work the next game though.
Gotcha. Joey, what about you? I'm trying to see if you remember any of them.
Well, I had like 4 or 5 sacks in one game against Iroquois. I sacked the quarterback and the center in that game.
In your freshman debut at Doss, you sacked the Trinity quarterback 7 times.
St. X.
St. X. Sorry. I knew it was one of them green teams.
I didn't know plays. My coach just told me,
get him,
kill the man with the ball.
Kill the man.
I played defensive end, weak side defensive end.
Get
pow, 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 pow. I mean, I got some penalties too, because like most of the time I didn't even look to see if they had the ball.
Get him.
I hold out for eagle playing golf before from
Okay.
about 170 yards
That's
off
impressive.
the side of a hill. And then the old man that was playing in the group with me and Kevin, he's up on the green, reaches in, grabs my ball. Like, come on, man, you got to let the man who hit the ball in the hole grab his own ball. Let me grab. Don't grab my ball. Let me grab my ball. I don't know where your hands have been.
Never let another man touch your ball when it's in somebody.
He was like 90 though, for real. Like he.
John, we're talking about golf and in life.
He crushed a ball off the tee about 160 yards.
Crushed
it. Was my pitching
crushed it. Let me see. I got. One of mine was, so I'll give my all world one last. One of mine, we were playing up in Cincinnati in this 3-on-3 tournament, and I was about 15 feet beyond the 3-point line. And I never shot 3. Yeah, Joey's normal range. I never shot 3s. I don't even know why I shot that 3, but I saw this guy running towards me with full speed. And I was like, well, the time's running out. This was a buzzer beater. This was to go to halftime. So I line up. I shoot the 3. He hits me. The 3 goes in from about 45 feet out. I get the free throw. And then they want to fight us at halftime. It was a court, like, I did celebrate a little.
I was actually under the age limit, but I was so big nobody knew. And
yeah, we're not going to admit that again.
Oh, that's 20 something.
Okay, statute of limitations is over. All right.
So Fred, next thing I know, Fred's got this guy by his throat, pushed him up against the wall. Fred's 6'9", 6'10", strong as an ox. Played ball at Western Kentucky. Played some pro ball.
Overseas. Yeah.
He would shoot from about 10 foot, just like it was a free throw.
Yeah, that's where my game was. My game was never long range because I could always just do what I wanted to under the rim. So that's where I don't know what prompted me to shoot that shot. Number 2, I remember we were playing up. There's this park, and this is not that impressive because I was in Shepherdsville, and all the former Bullitt East, Bullitt Central, all the former Bullitt County athletes. Steve Rummers took me to this event. We were all playing football out there, and we were playing tackle. To their credit, they weren't wusses. And I caught 10 passes for 175 yards and 7 touchdowns. So that was pretty impressive. It brought me back to my PlayStation days. But my number 1, and Joe, you were here for this as well, was at the old Jewish Community Center. And that was a league we were in. Oddly enough,
we had 5 people
from the child support. The child support office funded that league. Yeah. Shout out to Miss Pat and
Wesley.
Wesley Cox. Rest in peace.
Was on that team with us.
The 4th, they called him what they call Buttercup or something like that. And then only reason I remember the one guy's name. Now this was the guy that actually his mom worked there too. His name was Ricky Williams. He was this little white dude. Had no basketball game, but was always talking about basketball. He's like, man, you should play in the rec. We got a rec league. I was like, well, can my brother play with us?
He was like the guy off of Longest Yard that wanted to play quarterback.
Oh
God.
Yeah.
Red State says
Brucey.
Yeah, Brucey.
Yes. Yes.
Come on, put me in, coach.
Sit out.
So that's the only. And he's like, yeah, I guess your brother could play. They don't never check anything. So. We were in the playoffs. This was a playoff game. We were deep in. This was the Final Four, and again, when we started playing in the 3-on-3 tournaments up in Cincinnati, I don't know why we started playing them.
Before the internet, I don't even know how we found out about it and got our registration in ahead of.
It had something to do with Fred. Fred wanted to hang out with us, spend some more time with us. Real good dude. Shout out to Fred. But anyway, so we're in the final four of this until Fred, like, we started hooping with Fred. I didn't play a whole lot of basketball unless it was in our driveway.
We had some games there.
We had some battles in the driveway. But I started shooting threes in the driveway. And when Fred started, we started hooping with Fred. I got my range a little bit. And in this Final Four game, Joey got hurt in the first half. You twisted his ankle.
My ankle.
Yeah. So I took over, and I went 13 for 15 from the three-point line. I went 5 for 5 from the field, and I went 6 for 10 from the free throw line. I was unflappable. I remember I don't even. You just have those games and those times sometimes when you just can't miss. Sean, you'll get it one day, maybe.
Well, you got to shoot to miss.
Well, that's true.
Right.
Red State says finishing through contact, a new concept for Sean. Absolutely.
You got to have contact to finish.
Got to. Shout out to Corey and joining in on Facebook. But yeah, man, I was in the zone, everything. And I remember this one time, my very last basket of the game, I was standing there at the top of the 3-point line, and I pump faked the dude. He jumped. I went around him to the left. There was a guy standing right at the free throw line, and I did a Paul Pierce spin around him for a layup. Got fouled. I missed the free throw, but it was really nothing else athletically I did I can remember that was very impressive.
My block, when we were whatever that league we were in off Popper Level Road.
Oh,
we played Adam Childs and his team in the finals, and I can't remember who that big guy was that played for them. I think he ended up coming to play for us. Howard or
that's the team that Adam Childs' little brother was on. You're talking about Derby City. Derby City. Wasn't that the name of it? Derby City.
But anyway, their big guy is coming down the lane, and I mean, it's towards the end of the game. I mean, it was a really close game. I blocked his shot all the way on the other side of half court. Stefan was kind of snowbirding, gets the ball. I don't even know that he had to dribble, 2 long steps, jump, and because Stefan Shekels, and they called him Baby Shaq for a reason, because
that dude, that season, I had never seen anybody go. That dude shot 98% every game, scored 40 or more points every game. He was just on fuego, man. And Chris Travis Long was on that team with us too.
I know.
I thought you were talking about the league we played in at Tom Sawyer.
Oh no,
against Jillian's and them. That was where we played against. We played against
a big three.
But we played against. Bro was on that Jillian's team, and so was the wheel guy that we ended up playing with over in Mount Washington when we beat those guys. So that was another one.
Mount Washington, yeah, that was what was their names?
Troutmans and the Rednecks.
We had Dante Smith on the team. Mm-hmm. Fred for a couple games, I think.
We had T. We had Ray Childs.
Yeah.
Will. Bro and Will. Like, it was stacked. We beat them so bad they told us the next season we couldn't play because there were too many of them.
One game we won 90-something to 30. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
It was amazing. Yeah, there were too many of them. We'll let you all do the deciphering on that. They were used to it being all white. I mean, all right over there. But we even at that game,
that team.
Yeah, even with that game though, I remember like we were up like 12 with a minute left, and I was the player coach because one thing I could always do, I could put basketball teams together. I was the Pat Kelsey of the 2013s and before. Dion Lee, if y'all know anything about basketball in the area, Dion Lee, after the Derby City championship victory, he came up to me, he's like, you really know how to put a heck of a basketball team together. So I've always used that as my calling card because Deion Lee is very, very well respected in the area. But we were where was I going with that?
We won.
Yeah, we won.
They tried to knock me out.
So we're up by like 12. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in. Everybody's like, yeah, Jeremy's getting in. I was like the water boy. I was like Rudy, like, yeah, I'm getting in. Which I could have played anytime I wanted to. But so I get in, and the next thing I know, 30 seconds later, we're only up by 4. Wasn't because of me, Wes Brown.
Fouling on threes.
Well, we've told that story before, but the very first game of that season, we had 4. It was me, Joey, Steve, and Wes. And we were playing the Troutmans. It was our first game of the season, and we're up 5 with 13 seconds left. They steal the ball from Wes, throw it out to Bubba. Bubba hit a 3. They're up by 2. We're up by 2. So I look over Wes and I said, whatever y'all do, don't foul them. So, sorry. So they hit the 2. We inbound the ball. Wes goes to dribble up again, loses the ball again, and I said, Wes,
one of his 8 turnovers.
Just let him shoot. Let him shoot. Don't do. Fouled him on the 3 with no time left. He hit the 3. Oh, that would have tied. The 3 tied it, and then they hit the Bubba.
Yeah.
Fantastic free throw shoot. So we were down by. We were up 6 then because they hit or maybe they hit a 2 and then hit a 4.
Yeah, they hit a 3, and a foul shot.
Yep, and that was the best team in the league. That was the best team in the county. Like most people would tell you that Troutman team and Bubba, like they never got. That was their first time they had lost in that league was to us, and most of them didn't take it very well. But okay, so we did get off subject. Fabian's got a question. He says, off subject, what do you guys think about the Tennessee quarterback? And might we see more attitudes like that around the country? I think we do because money drives everything.
And there's no guardrails. There's no contracts. There's nothing to hold them in
Not
place.
yet. By this time next year, they'll probably be contract.
Oh, definitely. After this, yes, yeah.
So let me ask y'all a question. We can close this show out right now, and then we can do an entirely separate WrestleMania show real quick, or we can just finish out. We can finish out with our WrestleMania segment.
We can finish out because
let's just finish out with the WrestleMania.
If they don't want to watch, not being rude, they don't want to watch the wrestling part. They can just
yeah.
But we're not gonna do our song lyrics.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Oh yeah, don't forget about that.
Forgot about that. Turn a song lyric into a Sean lyric. Wes, do you have any?
I kind of thought of this one before the show. It's driving him out of his mind. A girl for Sean so dang hard to find.
I like it.
It's driving him out of his head. He can't miss them, touch them, hug them. That's why Sean's a virgin.
Okay.
Man, I could have went a whole different direction. With,
I thought so too.
With the it's driving me out of my head.
Yeah, I like that one. That was good. Don't quit your day job. But very good, very good lyrics.
I know I'm terrible. It was worth a shot.
Sam, you didn't come up with any?
No, he was too busy turning the ball over.
Sean, did you come up with any of your own?
Please say no.
I did not.
Why do none of you all ever do not Joey?
I came up with mine while I was driving.
None of y'all ever do the home. Like literally, I asked very little of you all, and you never.
You had
failed to
45
give
minutes
me very little.
The show to think of something.
Gosh dang it, Joey, take over. This is where you shine.
All right, you gotta play the music in your head because we can't play it. Britney Spears, "Hit Me Baby One More Time."
Okay.
And I'm playing words here. My loneliness is killing me. I must confess, I don't believe. Never had any. I'm losing my mind. There is no sign. I'll be a virgin till the end of time.
Okay. Now, here's where they
just like that, riding down the road, I had to pull out the phone. I had to.
I was looking more so for just like a song title or one lyric. You all gave us full paragraphs of bars.
I could have wrote a whole song.
Wes has jumped out of the conversation. He'll be back.
I've got an album. It's going to go platinum.
All right.
Is that me or you?
That was definitely you. Let's go to Twitter real quick while Joey's loading up his next one. Wes, I'll get you back on here in a second. Here, let's go. The birthday boy Garrett Hoover said, "Don't even have to change the lyric." Don't even have to change the lyrics to the In Vogue song, "My Lovin'." It's practically an autobiography. Never ever gonna. I would say, "Oops, I did it again," but you'd have to do it the first time to be able to do it again.
I just thought of one, but it's really bad.
No, you gotta say it. You gotta say it.
The Christina Aguilera song, "Genie in a Bottle," except Shawnee in a bottle. You gotta rub me the right way.
Gotta rub you anyway.
His genie's still in the bottle.
Who let the Sean out? Woof, 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 says Anthony. Okay. So let's do these throughout the rest of the show because those are all funny. Appreciate it. Let's get into the final segment. And of course, our Sunday shows, when we go every 2 weeks, are going to be a little bit longer. So we appreciate everybody that's tuning in and staying in. If you don't, just go back and watch what you like to later. It is what it is. Segment 4, the show of shows, the grandest stage of all, WrestleMania 41, 42, 43.
41.
Sean, how old are you?
I am. How old am I? 40. I'll be 43 in June.
Loser.
So Sean is streaming to the TV. I don't know what he. Oh, I do know what he's doing. This is not his Pornhub account. This is the match card for WrestleMania. We'll talk about that here in a second. But so Sean is older than WrestleMania by a couple years. There you go. What kind of? So me and Joey and Steve and my wife Teresa are going to Las Vegas for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
This has been kind of a big
93 hours we will be in Vegas.
Oh my God.
I was counting it earlier.
Thanks. I'm not looking forward to the airplane flight.
I am first class, baby.
Yeah, the last 45 things I've seen in the last 6 months about things in the air have all ended badly. So I'm not looking forward to
There may
it.
or may not be a show in 2 weeks. Sean, you know how to work the board. Just tell them.
No, he don't. He don't know how to do
right.
anything with his fingers or hands. But this is a big deal. We've only been to one WrestleMania, and it was WrestleMania 23 in 2007.
Yeah, I believe so.
I just pulled that one out of my rear end. If it's true,
It was 6 or 7.
I'm not sure which one it is, but and it was fun. But they've got more things to do now that makes things more fun to go to WrestleMania. It's 2 nights. They've got a WrestleMania Superstore, a WrestleMania World. You can go talk to Joe Hendry if you want, if you believe. 2 on, 1 out. NC State up by 6 now in the bottom of the 6th. Shout out to our guy Sean Moth, man. Just when you listen to him, I listened to him during the entire game yesterday on the radio, and it was like he was telling a story the entire game, and he never stopped. It wasn't like he was like, "Oh, and that we hit it." No, he was just like, it was flawless. It was seamless. It almost seemed effortless. Louisville Charlie says, Delta Sean, what's that flower you have on? Could it be faded rose from days gone by? All right, that's the leader from the viewers so far. I didn't know that y'all were gonna like take entire. I thought it was just gonna be like one lyric, like a lyric or a song title. Y'all like wrote the entire song out. Obviously, the easy one would be like a virgin. You wouldn't have to change anything on that. Okay, so what? Oh, so we're going to Vegas, and we want to know first off from you all if you all will give us some of your favorite. If you've been to Vegas, give us some of your favorite things to do in Vegas, places to go. But this is going to be a different experience than we've ever had at WrestleMania. Joey, what kind of a WrestleMania experience are you expecting?
As far as the card and being at the event,
I'm talking about everything outside of the ring.
Oh, man.
Wait, wasn't you supposed to go with them?
Yeah, he was. He was supposed to go to the Bunny Ranch with Joey.
Chicken Ranch. I found out it wasn't. The Bunny Ranch is in like Reno.
What?
The Bunny Ranch is in like Reno. This has been the Chicken Ranch.
So did Sean back out or?
Well,
Sean's not backed anything out.
No.
He did find a way to turn the chicken house into chicken.
I literally don't know why he wouldn't go. I mean, so got a room already. I offered to use my airline miles to
I
get
remember
him
you saying that.
I mean, it'd have been a coach seat, but it is what it is. Either he would have had to come up with ticket money, or he could have just, I mean,
watched it on Peacock at the hotel.
yeah, whatever.
I was gonna say I wasn't even
Like, he wouldn't
worried
even-
about going to the actual thing. I'm pretty sure there's probably a jumbotron someplace outside close to the.
They'll be like I read
You could
this.
watch
I
it.
forget where it's at. I seen it, but they're gonna have I think it's a
watch party or something.
It's a gentleman's club close. Hey, man, if I didn't have tickets, that's where I'd have been. I mean, two of my 3-4 favorite things in the world:
Will you stop?
wrestling and movies.
And you decided not to go, Sean?
Why? 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 Why?
Was it the
Do you
peer
think things
pressure?
that would implode in Louisville without you here?
You never know.
Okay.
They'll be fine, dude. You can leave. You can go outside of like 40, 50 miles. I mean, you were in Detroit for a couple of days with us for SummerSlam.
True.
I mean, good grief. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, there's gonna be so much stuff, dude. I can't even begin to even put into words, like all the events with WWE, some of the other things that are going to
WrestleCon will be there.
Some of the other things that are going to be, around the city that are always there. Like I'm going to do some gambling.
Sure.
I'm going to drop some coin. Hopefully I'm going to get some coin back. I'm hoping to spend enough and make enough to maybe even get the room comped.
Okay.
I mean, I've been doing some research on that, like kind of how you get certain things like that, comped. So, and then if I make enough on that, Chicken Ranch.
Okay.
If Sean's not going,
Might as well.
somebody's got to sub in, right?
Put me in, coach.
Yeah. No, I did research on that. I would have to hit a jackpot probably.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Like,
I was gonna
crazy.
say, what's it called? A next man up mentality.
But there's always, there's always those people. I know. I remember this from a 15-year-old boy in Vegas. Like, you could find little postcards just splattered all around the ground out there of X-rated material.
Oh, okay.
And people that supply, the supply and demand of certain things.
The S&D.
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
Some food joints looking to hit up. I think we're gonna try to hit up a
Gallo Gaucho Brazilian Steakhouse. Look it up on YouTube. It looks fantastic.
It's like Brazeros down on 4th Street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got the little coin, red side, green side.
Sean said, "Oh, okay," like he knew what you were talking about.
No, I do. I don't.
Hold on, what was it the other night when I asked him? He was like, "Oh, no." Like, was it a person I was asking about?
I don't remember.
You remember, and you were like, "I don't know," and then
it was something that was very, like, we had heard it our whole life, and he had never heard it before.
He's like, "Huh?"
What, green onions or something?
Oh yeah,
yeah. He didn't know what a green onion was.
I said I had to
I had no
pick
idea.
some green onions. Like they look like straws, right? Huh? I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
a green onion.
Like the ones you find in people's yard. It's almost like ones you find in people's yards. My stepdaughter used to grab the ones out of the yard and chew on them, and you could always tell. Now she was a younger kid, but you could always tell when she had, because gosh, her breath was like, as soon as she'd walk in the door, you could smell it.
Wes Key says he's having technical difficulties, so he's just going to hang in the chat for the remainder. LOL. About to take the kids to the park. Does that mean he's about to go to the bathroom? I don't.
No, that's the pool.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I should read this or not.
You should. If you say that, you
Red
should.
State says, for some reason, Sean gives up on women and starts dating men. Then the song lyric would be, "Don't it make my brown eye blue?" Oh no, bases are loaded with 2 outs for NC State. They're about to be up 100-1.
Sean and Smurfette or Papa Smurf.
Oh God.
I'm just like they're having a live busted open table. We will be at WWE World Friday morning when they do the Pat McAfee show live.
What?
Yeah, Big E will be there signing. Like, there's a bunch of photo ops for Friday. Rhea Ripley will be close to Rhea Ripley, so that'll be cool. I'm not paying for photo opportunities.
No, I'll just zoom in.
Yeah, I'll just take it from where I'm standing at.
I know how to Photoshop myself in now, so
there you go. So it'll be a fun time. I do really wish that we would have picked a different day for WWE World, because other than Rhea and Big E, there's not really a bunch of.
What day are we going? I didn't know we picked.
I bought tickets for the Friday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's good. Thursday kind of lounge, get acclimated.
Well, Thursday will probably be so full from eating 17 different kinds of meat, pause, that who knows when we'll do that? Maybe we'll do that Friday. I don't know. We've not really planned. I do know that you have to get reservations for that place, so we're gonna have to get that done quickly or miss out on that. But
we'll go here.
True. But let us know some things while we're wrapping up the show that you all like to do in Vegas. We're going to now go over the WrestleMania card, and I'm just going to ask everybody for their predictions. We've already went long enough on the show. Pause. Maybe there'll be one or two matches we'll elaborate a little bit on, but who's going to win the following matches? Sean, I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say in my life, but you get to go first on this. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. Who's going to win?
He's a real American. I'm going with the real American, El Grande Americano.
Okay. Sam?
Me too.
Okay. Joey, Rey Mysterio or Chad Gable? I mean, El Grande Americano.
Rey Mysterio don't lose.
At yeah.
No, I mean, just period. Like,
they don't call him WrestleMania Ray for nothing. Actually, they've never called him that. I just did.
Rey Mysterio.
Okay. And I'm going to... I tend
hopefully that's the end of that.
Well,
I think Ray unmasks him.
Yeah, hopefully that's the end of that story.
Well, it's been interesting though.
There's just nowhere else to go.
He's gonna win and be so excited that he win that he accidentally takes off his mask.
I can see that.
That'd be great.
There's just nowhere else to go with it.
But I will say this, for what they had and what they executed with it, been very interesting. A nice little 1 to 2 month little write off type of situation. I'm torn. Next matchup, Naomi and Jade Cargill. Did you know? Now, I know Joey and Sean know this because I informed them of this. This is the first one-on-one women's match at WrestleMania ever that does not include a title being on the line. Joey, who do you have in this matchup?
I have Naomi.
Okay.
I don't think it makes any sense to not have Naomi win.
Sam?
Naomi.
Sean?
I'm going Naomi too.
I'm going to say this is the beginning of a very long undefeated streak at WrestleMania for Jade Cargill. She is perfect in every way.
She
is like a human Hershey Kiss. Just want to num 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 num. Her abs look like a Nestle. I know I'm saying all these chocolate things, but I love
little
chocolate.
Hershey Kisses all over.
No, it's like a Hershey. It's like a Hershey bar. You know how they're in little rectangles. It's like every time I eat a Hershey bar, I think of Jade Cargill.
Oh, every time I eat a Hershey bar,
I
dream that I'm.
Well, still, and I've been lucky enough I've been fortunate enough to be able to interview Jade, and she was really cool. She was a tag team champion at the time. And
I think it'll be some kind of.
She was really cool.
Some kind of schmooze that somebody runs in. Like, I don't know who it'll be. If I just think there's
Nyla Rose.
I just think there could be some kind of maybe Nia. I mean, we haven't seen her in a while, right?
True.
They are both sort of bloodline-ish. Naomi being a heel now, Nia's already a heel. Maybe they link up with Solo and and Jacob for now.
Gotcha.
Could be some kind of, and Nia and Jade have had their
different
beef and kind of feud. So that's why I think there's just no interference. I think Jade's winning, but I don't think she'll have a lengthy WrestleMania undefeated streak because I think she's only going to be there about 3 or 4 years.
Okay. Well, I think she's the star of the future.
That's the reason I say that.
She will be
Hollywood.
She will take over what they've been trying to do. I fully believe what they've been doing with Tiffany Stratton was meant for Jade Cargill, and then she got hurt last year. And I think Jade Cargill is a star in every definition of the word. In the nobody really cares but should portion of the night, the WWE World Tag Team Championships are on the line. It's the War Raiders, which is one of my favorite tag teams of all time. I say top 15, and I put them right there at 16. Love their work, love everything they've done in Ring of Honor, but they're facing the greatest tag team, self-proclaimed greatest tag team of their era. And it hadn't, let's be honest, if it hadn't have been for the Usos, they probably would be the greatest tag team of the last 20 years. But okay, we've got a hit. Let's go. 2 outs. Can we come back? Probably not. I think the New Day takes the gold here. I think they win their bajillionth tag team championship. Maybe we see a Big E interference that helps them win the tag team championships. I kind of feel like he might be on commentary for the match, and he might turn heel at that point. Sean, what about you? Who do you got winning this match, or do you even care?
No, it's got to be the New Day. They've been building them up. They're beating. They beat LWO. They beat a couple other tag teams. They're going to win the titles.
Their new theme is pretty awesome too. It bops. Sam, what about you?
I really don't care, but I'll go with the War Raiders.
There you go. Sam says they retain. Also, make sure we got a couple of special episodes of Ringside Podcast coming out in a couple weeks. We don't know who our guests are yet. We will reveal that here on the show the next time we go live here, and then the next time WWE comes into town, we will be interviewing the athletes. So that's something we're looking forward to as we move forward. But nevertheless, the next match it should be. Oh, Joey, sorry. Go ahead.
I think it's the New Day, but I don't think it's Big E. I think it's somebody like Omos.
Could be the ruler
that hasn't been around. I mean, that's a good spot to slide Omos into, kind of like as their bodyguard / enforcer,
sure,
type thing. He was somewhat active in the last 6 months with was it Pro Wrestling Noah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that he won tag team gold, I think. There,
maybe they finally call up Trick Williams and he joins.
Could be,
or the ruler,
something like that. I don't think it's going to be Oba
Femi.
I would have rather it be Trick Williams, because I think that gimmick kind of fits a little bit more with, because he's kind of been making a slight turn in NXT.
I still think he may be the leader of that Dark State group. I think we got 2-1.
I think it'd be more interesting if it comes down to Javon Evans.
Was that? Yeah, I mean that is true as well.
But yeah,
so much going on that weekend.
20-time tag team champ. I would like to see the War Raiders win. Just everything they've been through. But
do you have any desire whatsoever to go watch Stand and Deliver?
I've not, man. Here recently, NXT's kind of fizzled down a little bit for me. Like, it's not.
Well, you've been working a whole lot more too,
well,
so
yeah,
maybe you've not been keeping up with it.
I've been watching it.
It's been awesome.
It's been good, but I'm just saying it's not been where it was for a good year straight. And everything has ebbs and flows, you know. But no, what's it? That's Saturday
morning, yeah.
Probably.
All this stuff's going to throw me off because we're going to be watching WrestleMania at 4 p.m.
Yeah,
and then
I'm gonna be geeked up for
Vegas time. They're like 3 hours behind, so we're going to be watching. We're going to have the opportunity to go to WrestleMania, and then after WrestleMania, go home, go grab something to eat, hang out, and have a good night out on the town. Whereas,
listen to that old Baron Happy Corbin music.
As you know, the 30, 45 minutes right after a pay-per-view is normally get home, get to the room, get to the bed, turn the pay-per-view post show on, and fall asleep watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have the opportunity. It's going to be completely different. It'll probably be I think Stand and Deliver is at 10 a.m., so it'd be 7 a.m. here in Louisville. I'm not really sure on that. But gonna be a good time. Next one up, we got
way around. If it's 10 a.m. out there,
that's what I
it'd be
said.
1 p.m.
Your mom. WWE United States Championship, LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu.
Wait,
I feel like that's going to be the crowning moment for Jacob. Here's what I hate. I
might steal
love
the show.
I think it'll be a showstopper, stiller. I do. All these bloodline members coming in and taking over like have literally stunted the growth of some of the other characters. But I mean, it's not a bad thing. I think Jacob Fatu wins the United States Championship, or he loses. No, I'm just kidding. Or maybe Solo cost him the championship. That could be the other way to look at it. I'm not going to pick here because I really do. I think they use this moment for a WrestleMania moment to crown Jacob Fatu. But I can see Solo getting jealous and causing him the match.
I think it's I think Jacob wins, and I think it sets up for a Jacob versus Solo at SummerSlam, possibly. I think he keeps the belt up until then, and sticks with the bloodline, but there's those subtle things in between that drive the wedge, and then around whatever, is there one or two pay-per-views in between Mania and SummerSlam?
There's Backlash and I think
in
Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Okay. At one of those is when Solo does something to cost him,
Gotcha.
But I would love to see LA Knight get. I mean, I would love to see him get his WrestleMania
validation
moment winning, and being able to hold the gold up, the belt up,
And we appreciate all of you all hanging. We know y'all tuned in for U of L stuff, but we're excited about WrestleMania. And as Joey said before, if you're not into the wrestling part of it, then we'll see you all next week in Vegas. Where we come to you with more wrestling stuff. But if you want U of L information, it'll probably be 2 weeks. The 27th, I believe it is, where we come back to you with some U of L stuff. And of course, if there's breaking news, we'll do an impromptu emergency podcast. We're not bound to the schedule, but we do for organizational purposes and to get these guys in here on time every other week. That's what she said. We had to set an every 2 week schedule. So that way it gives everybody the opportunity to hang out and do what they need to do for 13 and a half out of the 14 days. So, Sam, who wins? Fatu or L.A. Knight?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with LA Knight on this one.
Yeah.
Only because, like you say, if Jacob does win the title, then I see them prolonging this bloodline, this new age bloodline with the feud with Jacob and Solo. But I think that's going to get played out pretty soon. So I'm going to just go with LA Knight.
See, I'm kind of interested to see where the bloodline thing goes because Tonga Loa should be back in a couple of months. Hikuleu is coming up to the main. Well, he's debuting, whether it's in NXT or the main roster here soon. So I do foresee like a new age bloodline faction forming without the Usos and Roman.
You got Lance Anoa'i that's
Lance
NXT, but I think he's been injured. He's supposed to be back soon. A lot more people come in.
So interested to see where that goes. In the probably the greatest moment of the evening, we got hold on. Oh, no, don't catch it, you son of a
just get eaten bulldog.
Wait. Are we moving on? Because I haven't got my.
Oh, you didn't give yours yet?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Jacob.
Hold on. Sean. Sean?
I know which button it is now.
I'm going to go Jacob Fatu.
He did it.
And I think the reason he's going to win is you've already talked about the bloodline after he wins.
Right.
But LA Knight, I think, wins Money in the Bank. I think that's where this is leading. I think everybody's LA Knight up.
Okay. I don't hate it. I think he's probably a little old to be, no offense, LA, for them to be using a youth spotlight tool like Money in the Bank to elevate his career. LA Knight's done everything you can do in the business. He is what they call an overnight sensation that took about 20 years to do it. Sort of like they do with Joe Hendry, which I'm going to confront Joe Hendry at WWE World. Sean, WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Does anybody, let me ask it this way so we can hurry up and kind of get through. Does anybody see anybody other than Tiffany Stratton winning this match?
No.
Sam, you going Tiff? It's Tiffy time. We all agree there. Then the next matchup, which this is a disservice. This should have either been the first match to set the tone. No, that's really the only spot it should have been. Remember the year everybody got in an uproar because Edge and Alberto Del Rio fought in the first match of WrestleMania, but it was because Edge, they had determined Edge couldn't wrestle anymore, and they were just transferring the title over. And it was a pace setter, and it was a show stealer. And this match is going to be that most high energy. The crowd's going to be into it the most. Gunther has been everything that I wanted in a heel. He's been everything I wanted in a heavyweight champion. He's just not it. There's something wrong with it. Just like with Damian Priest, was very happy for his journey. He got there, he won the championship, and then it just kind of farted out. Some people will say Gunther's downfall has been the lack of quality opponents, but my God, he's had a plethora of guys on Raw that they could have put him up against. Jey Uso is electric. They did him a disservice by not giving him a lengthier Intercontinental title run. He should have had multiple Intercontinental title runs before he elevated to the heavyweight championship. I think they used this as their WrestleMania moment. I see Jey Uso winning the title, but it also wouldn't shock me if they just kind of sweep him under the rug because of the lackluster response to Gunther being the champion. A lot of people say they judge the champion off the response of the challenger. Jey Uso couldn't get a better response than he's been getting. So I don't know what more they could do. I don't know where this goes. If Jey Uso wins the championship, where do we go from there? Are we looking at him versus Gunther at Backlash? Like where does he? They're not going to put him up against Punk. They're not going to put him up against Rollins. They're not going to put him up against Tiffany Stratton for sure. I just
maybe AJ.
I just don't know.
I think it's a rematch. Well, I mean, that's usually what they do with Backlash,
right? And they've deemed it WrestleMania Backlash the last couple years. So, does anybody think Gunther wins this match?
I do.
You think Gunther wins the match? You think he stifles the Kofi Mania was the biggest thing that year. Daniel Bryan Mania was the biggest thing his year. This is Jey Uso's time. You think, to quote a very, very good wrestler and one I've always loved, John Cena, do you think his time is up, or you think his time is up? You don't think his time is now?
No, I just, like you said earlier, I just don't see where they go with Jey Uso being the champ. But for me, Cody is I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. He's the favorite, the people's champion,
right?
So, like the good guy, and
until Jey wins,
right? But then you'd have two good guys as champions, so you kind of balance it out with Gunther being the heel.
But that's assuming you're kind of giving us a look at your hand for later on, because who says that Cody Rhodes is going to be the champion after WrestleMania? We'll talk about it here in a second. So you think Gunther wins?
I do.
I don't know where you go with either one of them.
I mean, you could do a. So here's the thing:
do a rematch for Backlash. Then you let some of these other things play out a little bit more, because Seth Rollins and CM Punk are both on Raw. They're wrapped up, engulfed in feuds. So there are other people that you could put them against. AJ and Gunther. I mean, if Gunther wins, you could have an AJ and Gunther program.
They're saying that the Gunther CM Punk matches on the live shows have stolen the show. Like, they're shocked that Jay wasn't like cheated out of his spot. I just don't know. My head says Gunther, my heart says Jey Uso, and a big old yeet to him. Last but not least, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Seth Rollins wins this matchup, and it's because of Paul Heyman, in my opinion.
Yep, that's what I was saying a couple weeks ago.
I was saying it a couple months ago.
Seth wins because
of
okay.
Yep. Paul turns on both of them, and
he's just thrown too many tidbits out there to lead in that direction. I'm loyal to this guy. I'm loyal to this guy. I'd never turn on them. But Paul's character historically has been a fibber. and maybe in his mind he justifies it as, well, I can't help this one win,
So I won't help.
so I can't help this one. So if I can't help either of them then I'm going to do this. And I've heard, this is weird, I've heard some people say, and I think it was on Busted Open, I think it was LaGreca saying, or no, it was Bubba Ray, Bully Ray, whatever he goes by on there, that it would make sense to put him with Heyman with Rollins, because it would help get Rollins over that hump to the next level.
What hump?
What hump? What next level?
He's done everything you can in the business. Like, he's
Like
a
when you-
surefire first
Oh,
ballot
yeah.
Hall of Fame.
When you talk about the top tier of WWE, Seth Rollins is on there. He's the Shawn Michaels
of our generation.
Which,
by the way, if you haven't already, they released a documentary, WrestleMania, behind the scenes at WrestleMania 9. One of the best things I've ever watched. It was the first time they ever allowed cameras behind to record stuff. You know how like we get the WWE 24s and the stuff like that now? It was the first one, and it was fantastic. They show a clip at the end of it. They're like, "Hey, do y'all know who this usher is?" And you look over, and Nick Khan is ushering at WrestleMania 9. He's an usher, a volunteer.
So many people have been extras.
Yeah, so many
Joe
many
Hendry
people.
was Lana and Rusev's lawyer.
Yeah. CM Punk was in Cena's entrance.
Yeah,
It's
so
been
in our WrestleMania.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right,
Yeah,
Sean. Let's
Rollins.
me and Joey think Rollins. Sean, who do you think?
I do think it's going to be Rollins, only because I think they're going to use him as the new big bad. That probably is going to knock Gunther down a little bit. I think they're going to turn Rollins full heel, and he's going to be just
Heyman Rollins go after
some guys are better as heels, right?
Yeah.
Just naturally. All right, Sean, take us to WrestleMania Sunday, and we'll try to get through this a little bit quicker. I know
he's got to get new music though, because you can't have the one where they sing along to it with the heel.
I don't know. It started out that way. He was a heel when they started that. AJ Styles versus the nobody. I'm picking AJ Styles. And you all, again, we're just going to give names this time. We're not going to go into detail. So if anybody disagrees with AJ Styles,
I do. I think Logan Paul wins.
It's good to get a youngster their first WrestleMania win, but this might be AJ's last WrestleMania. So we'll see. Sin City Street Fight. This has the potential to absolutely steal the show. I got Drew McIntyre in this.
Sean? I got Damian Priest.
Okay, Sam?
Priest.
Joey?
I think Drew.
The women's tag team championships on the line as Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defend. This is this night's time to go to the bathroom.
This is a Monday Night Raw match.
Which, speaking of, we're going to the Raw after WrestleMania, and that is going to be freaking. I might be more pumped for that than anything. But they defend their titles against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I don't really care who wins this match.
Liv and Raquel.
Yeah,
I think Bayley turns on Lyra. I think we get Bayley heel turn.
I love heel Bayley.
Yeah,
Sam.
I could care less.
She might even go into Judgment Day. Who knows?
Who, Bayley?
Yeah.
The WWE Intercontinental Championships on the line. It's Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio wins this match.
Yep.
That's right.
Which causes him and Finn Balor to have some friction. Finn is out of the Judgment Day some point after WrestleMania. It just storyline wise, I think it makes more sense to let Dominic win it. If it's me, the wrestling fan, judging it as strict wrestling, it makes sense for Penta or Braun to win the match. But then I'm like, well, this is probably their way of getting either Braun over more or causing the conflict within the Judgment Day. Sam, do you know who wins this match?
I say Braun, but I think this is also the implosion of the Judgment Day.
Okay. Two things can be true.
I don't think Finn wins, and I don't think Penta wins a singles title yet.
Okay, fair enough. The Women's World Championships on the line as Io Scott. Now, this could be 3 or 4 match of the nights on Sunday. This has got great potential. Io Scott defends her championship against Bianca and Rhea Ripley. I think EO retains. I don't I don't see any reason for either of the other two to just like win the title out of the blue. I mean, and plus EO is such a good wrestler, so I'll go EO Sky on this.
EO.
I'm actually gonna go Bianca Belair, and I think it's because we're gonna find out she orchestrated Jade Cargill's attack.
Okay.
I think Naomi comes and helps her.
Okay. All right, Sam. Let's hear your take on this.
I'm gonna go EO.
Okay. So
I think Naomi comes out and screws Bianca.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't think they reward Rio with the title after what she did to get into this match.
Yeah.
But Rhea is the female version of the Undertaker. She could never win another title, and she's still going to be a main attraction.
Yep.
I actually got to interview her as well. Amazing interview.
I want to interview privately EO Sky and Asuka, Kairi Sane. Love them.
Dakota Kai.
Yeah, she can come on too.
I thought you were going to she can get it. She can get it too. And last but not least, the undisputed WWE Championship. And this is where I think we're gonna have difference of opinions here. Cody Rhodes, the quarterback, the captain of WWE, defends the WWE undisputed, which I don't know why it's called undisputed because there's no dispute anymore. Heavyweight championship against one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, a guy that I've always loved.
Such a good moveset as well.
What a great moveset. John Cena. Joey, we'll let you go first.
Ooh. So
we're almost over the 2-hour mark, so we really need.
I'm going to say heel Cody Rhodes wins this match because I think what we saw was it. Where was that at? Where the turn was it? Rumble? No, it wasn't Rumble. We didn't see that live. Whatever pay-per-view that was, Elimination Chamber. I think that was a swerve because The Rock and Cena have always been rivals. So I think that's part of The Rock's master plan. I think we see The Rock, obviously. But I think Cody wins because Rock helps him. And he actually took Rock's deal, but just didn't say it on screen. It had to play out that way, whatever the case.
And just the way to get for Rock to get back at Cena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his farewell tour. I kept you from getting the number 17. I kept you from winning your last WrestleMania match.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Sam, what about you?
To hire us.
I said it earlier. I'm going Cody.
He's going Cody. Yeah, he did say it earlier.
That'd be a year, man. They need to stop. I like the long title reigns, but they need to start like Cody's getting getting a little stale.
Are we gonna let's see who we get from Sean Barber over here. Who are you picking to win this match?
I think it's gonna be straight. I think it's gonna be John Cena.
You think John
Cena's gonna win it, and he's gonna reign over and he'll probably beat the crap out. I think Cody will be gone for a little bit. I think they're gonna have a beatdown angle at the end where they beat him so bad he doesn't come back for a while, and then he comes back to take out John finally, the big evil John Cena.
Who does Randy Orton fight at WrestleMania? Is it Aleister Black? Is it Rusev? Or is it who's the other person I had in mind? Brock. No, not Brock. Well, I mean,
I think it's a good possibility because they've been saying his name on TV again.
Oh, great segue. Is it Rusev? Is it Aleister Black? Or is it, with the announcement this week that Joe Hendry has been inserted into WWE world for opportunities? Is it Joe Hendry? Like, that would be a great way to make Joe Hendry as he heads the WWE here in the near future. Sean, just give me a name, no explanation. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be you get 4 choices. Is it Hendry? Is it Rusev? Is it Black? Or is it none of the above?
I actually think it's going to be none of the above.
Okay.
Do you think he has a match?
That's a good question. That's a different question. I still think I still think he has some kind of match or some kind of segment.
So are you predicting like a Sami Zayn or a Shinsuke type?
Maybe something like that.
Okay.
I mean, they could easily do something with Solo. They tried to set that up Friday.
Sam, what about you? Who do you got? You going with Sean?
I'm going with Solo.
Okay. Solo versus Randy. Joey?
It's Rusev Day.
Joey
I think
thinks
they saved Aleister Black for the
Raw after Mania.
The Raw.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Joe Hendry. That's no inside information. It's just very weird that he pops up on the autographs listings this week. What a horrible way to ruin that for those of us fans that do pay attention to that. But
I feel like there was one other TNA person that they announced as well, or that showed up on that list as well.
no, it was just him.
Okay.
Jordan Grace used to be in
No,
TNA.
I know that. I know that.
That was the only other TNA-er on the list. All right, guys, we've wasted enough of your time, or we have entertained you for enough time for today. Please support our photographers, Jeff Nunn, TJ Barr, Justin Kruger, Keith Russell, bar none, the best photographers in the business. No offense. For sponsorship opportunities, look below, right next to where Joey's booger is falling out of his nose, to where you can sponsor the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Stay tuned to our social media and subscribe to us on YouTube or Facebook to be alerted anytime we go live. So we will have some shows that we do that are non-scheduled, where we just decide, hey, there's something to talk about. Let's do a show, and we do it. Also trying to get, while I'm thinking about it, I'm also trying to get Corey Ray on the show this summer. That would be a great talk to him about his transition into being a coach. He actually is a coach in the Cubs farm system or the Diamondbacks. It's one of the two. Great guy, probably one of the greatest Louisville baseball players in history. So we're going to try to have him on. But I don't know how I even got to that. But yeah. So something like that, if an athlete contacts us like, yeah, I'd like to do the show, but I can't do it when y'all do it. We'll do an impromptu live with them. You can find the audio version on over 125 different podcast avenues: Apple, iTunes, Buzzsprout, Spotify, TuneIn, Google, Amazon, and iHeart. Amazon and iHeart, not Amazart. Just to name a few of the more popular ones. Hit subscribe, like, heart, plus sign, or whatever it is that Sean does on the weekend now. If you haven't listened to all the prior episodes of the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast, it's easy. Go to cardinalsportszone.com, hit the podcast tab, hit the podcast drop-down menu to select the CSZ podcast. It's easy. Check out our exclusives on cardinalsportszone.com. Go to the place it all began. Shout out to everybody who's out there sharing the podcast. How's the battery on the laptop low? Okay, we got 10%. We're good for the rest of the show. Check out our exclusives on cardinalsportszone.com, the place it all began. Shout out to everyone who's out there sharing the podcast. We appreciate and love you guys. It's the middle of the 8th. It's 7-1 NC State, by the way. Shout out to our guys, Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage, doing the Lord's work Monday through Friday from 10:17 to 11:32 on ESPN 93.9 DeVille. Just joking with them. Shout out to our guy Dalton Pinch, who has Mondays with DP. Glad it's not DDP. From 6 to 7 on the Big X. Shout out to our guys Terrence Jennings and Blake McCauley. We'll have those guys in studio this summer for an episode. Should be a really good time. Social media wise, where can everybody find you on social media, Joey?
Joe Wallman 526.
Sean.
At Elville Sean at S Barber 06.
The second one's for the ladies on Instagram. Hop in his inbox so he can hop in yours. Get it, inbox shot. We'll explain it to you later. Sam?
Baseboy 124.
And I'm at Jeremy_CSZ. Shout out to our guys at the 502 Circle as well. Mark and Dan doing work, killing it. First guest announcement. So coming up in Vegas, this should be obvious by now, but Steve Rummage will do a couple of episodes with us from Vegas. And he's going to come in to do episode 300 with us, which will take place later on in the year. So that's going to be fun. Having him in studio is always a good time. Again, in 2 weeks, we'll start our bi-weekly summer schedule leading up to the start of season 7 with our first announced guest for season 7, which will be Chris Redman and Ivan Green. They will help us lead off the season once again. What kind of segments would you like to see this summer? What kind of guests? We've got a list. We're going to contact them. We'll get them on here. Guys, I've seen this thing you can do now. You can go to Chat GPT and have them roast somebody. So maybe we could do a Chat GPT roast on the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast where we I don't know how it works. I'll do some research on it, but maybe that would be fun. Really don't know what they would say about Sean, so I'm kind of wary about doing that. But guys, it has been another great Sunday with you all. King DJ. Oh, Nick Aldis, he says for Randy Orton. That's who I was thinking. I'm glad you said that, King. Yeah, absolutely. Again, we appreciate you guys so much. The viewers have just done, even when we were talking about wrestling, the viewers just kept going up. We appreciate that. We love you guys. Thanks again for all the support. We love you guys. Until next time, L's up. Go Cards. Hope you enjoy this week. This has been the Cardinal Sports Zone podcast. Hopefully I can see y'all next week. And I don't. Never mind. L's up.